Alrighty, fellows. This right here is a one of the ranked games. I think Plat 1, almost to Emerald or whatever. We've been using Thresh, as you know, as a support. We've been using Thresh quite a lot because he's a pretty well-rounded utility support that you can use for whatever. What I'm gathering with this is that you can also use Thresh as like an AD kind of Tom Kinch or a AP kind of bursty champion. And this is the numbers from my last game that I played. So we had a Yasuo, all of that. We're doing pretty decent. Took about, it was like a 30-minute match. But you can see out of those 30 minutes here, with me building some AD and HP items and then going tank, I did 10,000 more damage than Yasuo. And then I was 10,000 damage under my ADC. I did more damage than Darius, more damage than Warwick, only 5,000 under Cassidon, about the same amount of damage as Vayne, and way more damage than her support as Pantheon. Plus, I'm able to use my utility to throw Pantheon and stuff off. Okay? And then we're going to go down to, where's turret damage? Total damage to turrets. So I had nearly 9,000 damage to turrets. Basically 4 times as much as Malphite or Gragas. More damage than Yasuo. More damage than my ADC. Okay? More damage than anyone on the enemy team from my Demolisher procs. And all this is, basically, is Aftershock Thresh with Demolisher. You go defensive boots, Bloodsong for extra burst damage, and then we do Heartsteel. So you get Heartsteel and Bloodsong about the same amount of time, and that'll give you like an additional 300 or so burst damage that kind of scales up as the game goes on. And both the AP and the AD versions of this build kind of do like 2,000 or so burst damage, sort of. So you have enough damage to kill ADCs, supports. You have enough damage to kind of hurt a lot of laners. So this hasn't been too bad of a game. It was a little bit rough though. And we can watch the replay. We'll just watch the replay real quick. But really all this build is the AD version is Heartsteel first item, Titanic Hydra second item, and then you have defensive, MR, Thornmail is going to be your final. So it's basically like a top lane Thresh in the bot lane, like a Tom Kinch. We had an early invade and stuff. Nothing really happened, so I'm just going to go down here. But yeah, we had a little bit of the rough early start. The difference between the AD and the AP build right now, though, is that Grasp doesn't really work super well. You can still use First Strike, because the AP build we're using First Strike to get additional gold. But what I'm finding is that if you go First Strike, it's better as the game goes on, where if you go AD early and you get Demolisher procs on turret, it does actually give you a decent bit more gold. If you can get that early turret, the first turret, it's like 250 gold, plus the turret plates, you're looking at like 68 gold a piece. So we got like 2 or 3 turret plates, I think, here. So we're already looking at 300 or something gold, which is pretty nice. And then we go treasure hunter on the ruins. So we die a couple times here. And my ADC was a little weak. I got outplayed a little bit there. But then when we come towards the end of the game, you're looking at fights. This looks like a team fight right here. Okay, so that's where we got picked. This was right before that, I believe. See, like, this is Thresh against the Darius. We got the Steelheart. Our ADC is pretty strong. She dove a little bit too aggressive. I think we overstayed a little bit. But, like, I whiffed pretty hard here. We go into a second fight. Heart still proc, straight into the next damage. Heart still proc, straight into the next damage. So you can see the damage is pretty good. And then right here, you see this proc? So we're doing good turret damage, good combat damage, and it's hybrid on Thresh because we're getting the AD turned into AP, and then we're also scaling our AP with our souls. And with that build so far, we've been able to get like 80 to 100 souls in a game now, like in 20 minutes, which used to be just a kind of Bosch standard amount that I would try to get in one game, but now it's a lot better. So it's pretty simple getting that 300 burst damage early, you know, and then we go straight into defensive tank items. And basically, if we have 100 souls, by the time we get Thornmail, we end up getting, basically 170 armor plus Grievous and the additional damage on somebody and the additional health off of this item. And then Jack Show is one of the other items that I do, and then Force of Nature. Those are kind of the 3 that I'm looking at. Basically, if they're heavy AP and they do like a lot of DPS with their magic abilities, I'm going like Force of Nature and then the Protean on top of that. And then if they're doing armor, I'm doing Thornmail and then the Protean on top of that. But there's kind of some wiggle room in that last item that you can get. The AP version of the build is pretty simple. So the AP, you're not really tanky enough to put yourself in the middle of a fight. So we're not going to try and stack up or build health and use Demolisher. And then you're basically using AP items to scale, so you get the like Ludens and the I think Shadow Flame or whatever the other item is that does burst damage and puts that mark on them. Galio builds it Storm Surge. So you get Storm Surge and Ludens. I'm starting to build Ludens first instead of Storm Surge. You don't really see the Storm Surge earning that much gold until like later into the game. But once you get that damage going, your first strike gives you like 200, 300 gold pretty good early. And later on, it gives you more and more. And you can use first strike with the AD kind of tankier setup, but it's not as tanky early game if you need to be a front line. It probably does a little bit better than Graphs does. And then the other thing with it is with First Strike and Steelheart, you have to time it correctly, and then you only still get like 30 or 40 gold, I think, for each proc on a champion. So it can be good to generate gold, but it's not super efficient. So now basically I have 3 or 4 builds. You have the Glacial Thresh, which is just good at kind of like roaming around and picking people. You have the Aftershock Thresh, the basic Aftershock Thresh, which is just, good for running around, general support, all of that. And then we have the Aftershock AD Thresh, which is a very similar build to the normal support Thresh, but it's more gold focused to get those early damage items because they cost more. So we got Treasure Hunter, essentially going double AD and then a little bit of HP. We got Treasure Hunter, and then we're doing Eyeball Collection because Eyeball Collection is going to give that 30 additional AD, and then on the AP version, it's going to give you that 30 AP on top of your other AP. So even by the time you finish your first item, once you get this stacked, you're going to probably have like an additional, you know, 80 to 100 AP off of that. But Aftershock and a Demolisher, and then we got Second Wind for the additional health and Overgrowth for additional health. And then we're going to try and basically do as best we can here. So like here we could go the 80 build, and it might be a little bit better if we want a frontline. But if we have a really good balance, so like way I'm looking at this right now is if we have a balanced team comp, like if I have a couple of bruisers and like or a tank or something in the team, then I can play more of a supportive role. If I'm going to be more of a frontline, then I'm going to be going more of the bruiser role. And then if we don't really have any like solid AP, or if I just feel like we need more damage, then I'm probably going to try and do the AP build. So this right here is for that, and then we have the AP build version. So we're going First Strike, Magical Footwear. For this is 300 bonus gold. We get usually about another 300 off of this. Futures Market just gives us our items earlier so we can do a little bit more damage in lane if we get a little bit behind or something. As soon as we get that first little bit of damage, this pops off. Like even that first 60 damage on that item, it crushes. Cosmic Insight lets us get our knight back a little bit more. We're getting at 30 additional AP and like another 500 and something gold here. So I think we'll try the AP build. We have Malphite and Volibear. They have some assassins, so it's not necessarily the best matchup for me with like Lux and stuff. But we'll try the AP version in this match. Kind of give you a gist of what both of the builds are like. The AP version is a lot more risky. It does give you a bit more damage early game than the AD version does because you're going straight into building AP and building burst damage, and then I'm maxing my hook. So both of these builds, what I'm doing right now is maxing my hook first, and then I'm maxing my E second. And level 3, I'm putting a second point into my hook instead of my shield so that it does more damage. And I have thought about this AP Thresh taking First Strike off and using Glacial, or switching over to Dark Harvest and putting the boots and the Debt Collector over here. But the extra gold helps quite a lot, like when you're ahead. Like a couple games ago, we were playing, and I was max build at level 14 because I had so much gold. So anything after this point is just going to be gameplay. Could have flashed for it, but I don't feel like it. See if we can get a little additional gold here, maybe. Nope. But it is nice to have the flexibility. This essentially means that we can play our normal support Thresh Aftershock, and then go Demolisher. Try to confuse him a little bit there. I don't know if I have the wave, if I'm going to be able to get this under in time. Okay. So level 3, we're going second point into Q, and then I'm going to go back and get my AP item. But this lets me give like a little bit more. We just swapped to the mage. We're starting to do Ludens first, but we get the Hex Tech Annihilator first, generally. And with this, I've stopped buying pink wards early for the most part, unless I really think I need them. And but you can see this right here. We go from 100 to 150 on the Q, and then we're getting an additional 65 here. So we're already looking at like almost 300 damage. And we get additional AP from the other stuff. God damn. Vegio, if he comes from behind, Easy might be in trouble. I'm gonna try to put a ward here if I can. Kind of risky. I'll try to stick around for the XP. I might end up dying though. I probably could have hooked him there, honestly. Very risky plays. Yeah, I should have just backed off. Didn't realize I had shutdown gold either. I feel like Smolder's going to probably snowball on this easy. He's already 2 levels down. Weak sauce. Try to get these procs and gank mid. I guess that was aggressive on my part. I decided to die for it. Just in case he tries to fly away. Might see if I can get off a Riven gank. I still got ult. Don't know if we have enough damage for her, though. Might try to go mid. It's kind of risky play here, to be honest. I don't know if she's warded. See how much damage? So now we got this right here plus this, so we got a little bit more damage. And people don't expect the extra damage on Thresh. That's the other part of this. Come on, easy. Come on. Don't Q him. Yes, auto attack. Auto attack. Guess I'll go ahead and I'll just hold on to my money for now. Bot tower's gone, so we lost that. Mid's gonna die. Not looking good so far. Probably should have taken that. Roaming this much isn't necessarily the best because I get some boots. See, because like normally on Thresh right there, that Riven, that probably doesn't kill her necessarily. But with this, I mean, we're smacking her 400 and something. Probably another, couple hundred or 100. And then we got 300 and another 100, 140 something. And the Ludens helps with wave clear a little bit more as well with the AP. It's kind of nice. Might have been able to hook them there. Oh, that's such BS. Should have ignited him. Whatever. See, but that's a pretty strong ADC right there. Wait. I might just wait for that. This is why I'm slowly starting to think about doing Dark Harvest instead of First Strike, just because it's extra damage. And I don't know if it would necessarily be better. Like this is still 232. How much we need? 14. 232, and then we had I think this was the next thing that we were building. We got this, and then we had the penetration item. Was this or it might have been Death Cap? Fuck! Almost had him. I just needed something. But yeah, this right here lets us execute at 35% health. And we got 1,000 or something probably like in damage kind of saved up here. Like if he fuck. There's no way they just just that little pop, you know? But see, we've already but we've gotten like about 50 extra AP so far. And stuff like this, we have enough damage to fuck. He gets a little he gets little minions blocking my stuff. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I should have just backed. I'm playing very, very dumb right now. See, but Lux has one item. She's working her second item, and I have two items working on my third item right now. Just from all the excess gold, we got like 300 and something extra gold here. We're getting like, I don't know how much gold off of that, quite a bit. And then we got the bonus AP here. And we got the bonus AP off this. So we got almost 100 bonus AP right now. Which is why I started, like, we can go Lynchbane, but I'm starting to lean more towards Rabadon's Death Cap instead. We get that extra 35%. I don't know this champion. It's a new champion. Thought I saw Riven or something up here. Maybe not. I'm not super scared of Riven unless she just like full out combos me from a bush somewhere. Fucked up my flash. He could have just jumped over the Baron pit or something. I mean, I was there to help, but I didn't necessarily want to fight that. And then I think he attacked Viego, where I nuked whatever this champion is. I doubt I can catch anybody here. Most likely I get caught if we're being... I don't know this champion. Like, I legitimately don't know that champion at all. Pack mates, targets, I mean, this kind of counters me. Hurls daggers, inflicts bleeding. This with Darius would be nuts, I think, if that bleeds a lot. $300 gold. Alright, so Lux is up 2 items. I'm about to finish my third because I'm falling behind. So she's dealt 1,300 damage, and I've dealt 600 with this, but I can't use Comet on Thresh effectively, I don't think. I feel like we need to catch the Wolf or Riven out. Oh my. I don't know. I mean, that champion just kind of counters me. I can't land a hook really easily on it because it has so much crap. Lux just finish her boots. I think she legit just finished her boots. But essentially, this style of thresh is just you're trying to land a hook, and then that hook is going to detonate because this is doing like, 300, 400 damage. So we're doing 1,000 something damage probably. Kind of want to catch Lux or something. I almost feel like I could take Riven, but if she gets on me, I don't know if I can or not. If we're being completely honest with ourselves. I don't have any more wards for all this, and I haven't been around minions enough, so I don't have a lot of souls like I want. It seems like that dog is kind of like Nocturne or something. Something along those lines. I was trying to flash right there, didn't. Thought it was going to be a pick. I was going to hook and then I was going to flash, but he didn't die. So I was trying to land one more auto. Ended up getting stunned or something. And then when it comes to stuff like this, you just set back and hook. So we're getting pros to 70 bonus AP, and we need a little bit more money for the death cap, if we're going to be completely honest. Grab that. Once we get that, we'll be able to burst down most of these guys. A lot of them don't have any MR. And then the last item, I'm starting to think about going this Crypt Room Blossom. I mean, it only heals for like 400 on a 60-second cooldown, but it gives you ability haste. It has a little bit less pin. Like, look at that. Deleted. So right now, 3v2. I mean, they should be able to push. They should be able to take like mid-turret or anything they want here, really. But here's like, Viego's level 16. Okay, I'm 2 levels above Lux right now. I don't know how much health he has, but like I deleted him. Like this Riven here, 2,000 health. So we're looking at this hook, 752 damage. Then we're getting probably another 200 or something here. So you're already looking at about, 1,000. And then this right here is doing another like 200. All right, and then we got this for an additional, so you're looking at 18, 2,000 almost. And then we got this, which is doing another 1,000, so you're looking at about 3,000 damage. And then this, 4% health, all that stuff. And it's more risky than like Lux or something, but it's more utility. Like if we compare Lux and this together, right? Lux has an AoE like a burst ult that she can hit like groups of people with down it's pretty nice. But I'm keeping ahead of her in items even if she gets more health and stuff than me. She has a root and I have She has a root and I have a hook. So her root is good for like a long range thing, but mine has more utility. And then my ult and my Q doing like 3,000 damage against anybody who's just a normal person. And that's like they can't they can't move or fight it. All right. And I'm dragging them towards my team. And I still have all the slows to peel people off of my teammates. All the flays and stuff utility that Lux and them don't have for like champions like Pantheon and Leona and all of that. So I don't think it's too bad. You guys give it a shot though. Probably on that. I mean, we're ending up with death cap. So once we get death cap there, we would get like probably an additional 100 and something damage just from the AP itself, and then the 30% extra AP would be giving us, I don't know how much AP we had, but we had quite a lot. We had like 100 and something bonus AP there. So you're already getting like an additional 35 or something on Thresh. And then if they have armor, I would probably go with the AoE healing one probably, because basically it's a 60-second cooldown, but when you kill somebody, it makes a healing area for your whole team for 400, which is pretty good, and it's good for you. And I don't know how long the healing area lasts though. I mean, if it lasts for a good amount of time, it could be nice. Other than that, it'd be Void Staff. But if they're not building MR, then I'd probably go like Lynchbane. And at that point, Lynchbane is going to be doing like 400 damage, 400, 500 damage probably on an auto attack, which is going to let you smack somebody really hard. Like it's just going to combo up. So like at that point, each of Thresh's abilities will probably be doing like 1,000 something damage. Like you'd probably go from 3,000 up to 4,000 or something damage. Pretty crazy. So he's basically like Vigar, but kind of not better necessarily. Vigar can stack AP better than him. Like if you're gonna micromanage Thresh, you're gonna have to basically set up waves on the map for like with your team. Like let them slow push waves into them, and then I just bop it, you know, and get a bunch of souls.